Why, hello there, everyone! Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ash, aka Axokindness, and I have been literally dreaming about today's build for so long. Dare I say, it's the entire inspiration behind this island. Goldie's Sunflower Farm! Woo! Ah! Yay! So excited! So, this is our canvas. This is the area that we're going to be working with to build Miss Goldie the Sunflower Farm of her and our dreams. And we're not going to dilly-dally any longer. We're going to hop right into this build because I'm so excited to share it with you guys! Alright, so, like with most of my builds, what you guys are going to see here is I started this one by kind of loosely deciding on where exactly I'd like the path to go. I've found that laying out where the walkable areas need to be first helps me kind of put everything else together in a cohesive way, so I'm not like obstructing important walkways or things like that. And honestly, that's probably one of my biggest tips in general for people that are starting to build an Animal Crossing. If you don't know where to start with your build, start by laying out the paths. And speaking of paths, I know that off to the right here, I'm going to want this path to snake down this beach and kind of connect up towards the front of our island, but you guys are seeing the state of this beach right now. That's going to be a project for a different day. Alright, so from here, I'm just going to go ahead and expand on all of these little squares that we laid down here, turning them into actual paths rather than squares. Now, I know some people are going to think that I'm weird for this, and I'm totally okay with that, but I've noticed in my casual gameplay that I so much prefer laying the path from the Nook phone, like the app, the Custom Designs app, instead of using this path tool. It's convenient sometimes, but with these 9-tile paths, I'm switching between, well, 9 tiles, basically constantly. So it's easier for me personally to just do that from the same screen, rather than have to go into the path tool, select a different path, and do all of that. But I've seen some people say in comments on other speed builds that they don't like to watch people lay it from the Nook phone just because it's a little bit jarring and not as satisfying, I guess. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys prefer. Are you with me? Are you team Nook phone? Or do you prefer to actually use the path tool? And I guess it kind of depends on the situation, but I'm curious, so let me know. Alright, so after laying all the path, this is kind of what we're looking like over here. I think I really like it. There's a couple little changes I want to make to the left over here, so let me do that real quick, and then I'll be right back.
12 seconds later.
Okay, alright, now I like this section lots better, except I think I'm having some issues with this section right here in the middle, so
3 days later.
Okay, now that's more like it. I love this little path here. Alright, but now that I'm happy with the path, let's talk items. I have a ton of yellow pansies that I want to use to act as sunflowers because sunflowers have that big brown spot in the middle, like the pansies. But I would like to go ahead and grab a couple of the staple items that I have over here. So, let me paint a picture for you. Whenever I'm imagining this build in my head, I'm seeing a windmill for some vertical interest. I'm also seeing some string lights because they're literally a must for every single build on this island. A destination signpost to put kind of over here where the path splits by the bridge. A checkout counter so Miss Goldie can live her best shopkeeper life. And a pergola. Guys, freaking look at this! Ah! This sunflower lattice simple panel design code, rather, is just one of the many stunning custom design codes I've picked out for this build. If you're wondering what codes I use, link in the description. Alright, so now it's time for just some little details to go in this area, and while I do that, I'm just gonna give you guys a little life update, because why not? So I have finally graduated, officially, from university. I officially have a bachelor's in education, so there's that. And my verdict so far is that the real world is scary, and I'm unsure whether I'm excited or terrified about the whole adulting thing. So jury's still out on that. But I'm having a lot of fun so far. I'm obviously starting like the job search and all those boring life things. So I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley to help me kind of escape and relax after spending hours in the adult kind of work. So yeah, after I put all the little fillers in place, this is what the broad overview, the summary, if you will, of this build is kind of looking like. I've got a lot of the key elements that I wanted to have in here. However, I'm kind of torn about the string light situation. I'm not entirely sure whether I want them right here in front of the checkout counter, whether I want them here down at the base of the ramp to kind of greet you as you enter, or if I just don't want them at all, which I know I said the string lights were a requirement. But I am kind of liking how open it looks without the string lights here. It kind of doesn't clutter up like the custom codes over here at the shopping counter. So I think I'm gonna leave it without the string lights for now, and if I change my mind, I'll throw them in later. You guys will see at the end of the build. We'll see if I decide to keep them or not. Oh my gosh, if they could just go right here. If I could put them at the end of this bridge, diagonally, which we can't, thanks to Nintendo, but if I could, I would love to put them at the end of the bridge. Okay, but I need to stop this spiral of thinking about all the things we don't have in this game. So, back to decorating. I'm playing around here with things I can use to fill in the gap sort of behind the house here. So I tried that little mushroom platform. Adorable, but not what I'm looking for here. It's giving Short King energy. You feel? I just got to a point in my script where it says, I've been scripting for 2 hours now. God help me. Anyways, I've tried this barrel with the lilies here, and I freaking loved it. Look at that. It's perfect. So I knew it was going to stay, even though I wasn't totally sure where exactly it would end up along the back area here. So we'll see. We'll see if it stays there or if it's going to move around a little as we work on the other areas of this build. All right, so we're going to go back to just a couple little like filler detail things here. So I've sped that up for you guys, but while we're watching this back, I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing recently, obviously. Like, I drafted this whole build before I built it, which is something I've never done before, but I really liked that, and I had a lot of fun with that. However, I've also been playing a lot of Stardew Valley recently. If you guys have watched the other videos on the channel, you might have seen that I tried like an episodic sort of playthrough of Stardew Valley, playing a couple days at a time. And I realized that style of content didn't really fit me. I liked just kind of zoning out and playing Stardew Valley to relax. And then I always prefer to voice over my videos afterwards just because I can sit down and be in the mood to do it and I don't have to force it while I'm also trying to enjoy the game. So I have a couple Stardew Valley videos coming out. I've actually started playing Stardew Valley Expanded, a modded version of Stardew Valley for the first time. Yes, I taught myself how to mod. We love a woman in STEM. But that's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to finally have that in the works for you guys. I don't expect it to be up anytime soon. Probably have another Animal Crossing video in the meantime, but just know that that is coming, and I'm so excited to share it with you. I've been playing Stardew Valley for a few months now, and I've poured probably close to 100 hours in that game. It's doing the same thing for me that Animal Crossing did back in 2020, and except this time, I'm not escaping the event. I'm just instead escaping, like, the mundane things that are coming with adulting that I'm kind of starting to do in this new era of me. So, anyways, back to the actual build here. So you're witnessing a key moment in this build here when I decided that this white garden bench was going to be in the field. Now, I say that this is a key moment because I go back and forth with where I want this darn bench to be placed, like probably 3 or 4 times. You can see here it's like in front of that tree, but I think it blended in with the white fence too much. So I run around and I change a couple of things, and essentially we end up with a couple options here. We end up with that first option where it just was in front of the tree and had the fence behind it. We end up with it like you're seeing here where we've got the barrel next to it and no fence behind it. We then end up with option number 3, which is no fence, but the bench is in front of the windmill now. And we end up with what ultimately ends up being our final option, option number 4, where I've moved the barrel over to still be behind the bench, but there's no fence and the windmill is now behind the house, which I really like it. I like that if you look at the trees, it kind of goes white, green, white, green, white. I like that. I I don't really know how to explain it. There's probably some kind of psychological thing with symmetry and patterns and whatnot, but I just think it's pretty. But now that we've settled the chaos with the bench, Miss Goldie decided to come and check out her little build, how her little sunflower shop is coming. Goldie, you're spoiling it, but it's fine. However, her appearance made me realize that I haven't even started thinking of a storyline or anything for Miss Goldie. Literally the only thing Miss Girl has going for her is that she owns Sunflower Shop. That's it. That's her whole personality as far as I've been concerned up to this point. So I tried desperately. I ended up having to walk away and take a break from the build just to think about what the heck her story was going to be. And you guys know how in a recent video I mentioned Miss Daisy having a lavender farm. Or if you didn't catch that video, it's linked right up here in the card in the top right. I was thinking, if Miss Daisy's gonna have a lavender field, like a lavender farm, what if, hypothetically, Daisy and Goldie were girlfriends and they had like flower fields and flower farms right next to each other? I think that that is quite possibly the best idea I've ever come up with. So I've been like absolutely in love with this idea. I've already started kind of planning out in my head how I'm gonna fit a lavender field up in this back right corner of the farm, because if anyone is invested in my Cardigan Island lore, Daisy and Goldie are now girlfriends. Also happy Pride Month. And they have sunflower fields and a lavender field together. And they help each other run their shop. It's just, I get so excited thinking about this premise. So be on the lookout for that. I'll have that up at some point. But feedback on this idea, I would love to hear that you guys are as into it as I am, because I don't know. I just get really excited about that. But yeah, as far as other villager backstories for this island, I know that whenever we eventually get Melba on our island, Melba's gonna have a bakery and Marshall's gonna have a cafe, and they're gonna be like kind of conjoined together like in the same area. I don't know about their personal backstories yet. We'll get there once we actually have Melba on our island. Let's not get too eager in trying to figure all this out right now. I also know that Mr. Dobie, our beloved, he is going to be a like biologist slash like wildlife researcher sort of thing. He's here on the island. He's gonna have like a research place in his house where he studies all the things and bug models and insects and fish and whatever else. I'm really excited about that one. That like little neighborhood video will probably be one of the next ones up on the channel. I also know that Miss Maple, she's gonna have a honey farm. I know, I'm so original. A little bear is gonna have a honey farm. Okay, I can hear you and I see you, but it's adorable, so it's gonna happen anyway. And besides that, I know Coco's gonna have a pottery shop. Again, Miss Originality here. And then who else? There's one more video character that I'm forgetting about. Sylvana! I think I'm gonna give Sylvana a strawberry farm, kind of using like the trick where you put the red pansies on the beach and then you run through them so they look like strawberry buds. 1000 IQ idea, and I would absolutely love to use that. But anyways, we are nearing the end of this build now, so let's get back to what we're actually doing, and I can show off what our build for Miss Goldie looks like. Guys, this is quite literally my favorite build that I have done to date. And just even voicing over this footage, much less building the actual thing, got me so excited to do some more Animal Crossing builds. So hopefully it won't be as few and far in between as the last couple ones have been. But again, apologies, life things, you know, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, thank you for sticking around and hanging out with me if you made it to this far. If you have, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube things, you know the drill. And stick around, come join the community. I'd love to have you here. Without further ado, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!